That's a trifling piece of shit right there. Like, I'm not for calling women the B word, but she would definitely be it. She would. I have there's a list of words that I can't say on here that I would call her if she did some shit like that. That's fucked up. Have you ever been to a baseball game before? Like,
I have gone to a baseball game.
Football
before.
game, like you've been like live and,
yeah,
and shit.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You have a good time. You know, as an adult, you might have an adult beverage or two.
Right.
You know,
right.
like
indulge in the food per se.
Of course, maybe have a hot dog.
Right.
You know, nachos. Maybe even if you're, you know, a little risky disky, you might even take a hit of the vape, you know, in there.
Right.
Just a little risky disky, you know. You ever beat in while you're watching the Sox play? While you're watching the Cubs play?
Have I had sex in the stands?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
No.
No.
Well, apparently, at a Blue Jays game not too long ago, there was a couple that got kicked out because they were smashing in the stands. Like, I mean, I get, you know, some women like hot dogs, but golly, it's a crazy time to want that type of hot dog.
You know, honestly, at least she didn't have to pay like the $10-15 for the hot dog. You know what I mean? She got that one for free.
It was a free one?
It was a
freebie?
Yeah, it was a freebie, kind of like getting a ball in the stands.
Got it. You know what's crazy is, like, I don't ever think that, like, I've gotten horny at a sporting event like that.
I mean, especially because it's obvious. For a woman's sake, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Okay.
You got a bunch of men running around, probably
Getting
in the
a
best
little
physique
sweaty
of their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She may
But
get a
for
little
men,
hot and bothered.
For men to
like, you know what?
To get bricked up and then want to have sex with their lady or whatever the situation
in the
is. In the stands. That's questionable. That's a little questionable.
Well, hey, at least, I don't know the score of the game, but at least we know somebody got a home run.
Bro, were the Blue Jays winning?
I have no clue.
You know, they probably checked out because they weren't winning.
They were probably getting their ass whooped.
So they had
you know what?
Like,
yeah, you're
we're
just
gonna
like,
take a little tenner.
Yeah. You know what? Now that I think about it, if we're being honest, right? If I'm looking myself in the mirror and saying, "ISO, tell the truth on this podcast," I'd probably get some domski if it was offered.
If it was on the table.
If it was on the table, I'd accept some domski. I'd be like, all right, you know, you want to give me okay. You know, I'd never say no to a little domski. You know,
right.
If it's a nice, beautiful young lady, you know, and she offers, I mean, it'd be rude. You know, she's probably, unless she's just like a loose type of girl. You know what I mean? And I love those type because everybody needs love. But unless she's a loose type of girl, she's not just offering this to anybody.
Did, like, charges, like, occur from this? Or this was just put out there?
I think that I don't know if they got hit with any charges.
No.
But I mean, probably though. Yeah, when you would probably get like at least like if they're gonna slap you on the wrist, you'd probably get a public indecency.
Yeah. Or more than that.
Yeah, you might even get like because there are kids there. You might get like a real charge. They might really try to get on out with you.
It reminds me of this video that I just watched recently. And I don't know who the artist was, but this guy goes on stage, and it had to have been like either a bigger like punk rock like artist or something like that. There was a lot of people at this stadium, but I had never heard of this person. And this guy's like, "Yeah, you want me to pull out my dick?" And everybody's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I got something." And he's like, "I got something for you." And then just pulls like a wiener dog out of his pants, bro.
What?
Like, bro, I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, this man is going to get arrested, bro.
Yo,
and then I'm like,
crazy.
nah, he pulls a dog out of his pants.
That's insane.
But yeah, dude, I was just like, what the fuck is going on with people nowadays, bro? It was like in that one show, Dave with Little Dicky.
How I'm Dave.
And he had this envisionment in the show, and he was talking about he was right about to go on stage, had a killer performance, and then he's like, "You guys want to see something crazy?" Fucking pulls out his dick.
That's insane.
And then has the whole, like, obviously he gets arrested, he goes to prison, it's all, but it's just, oh, it was a song, actually. I'm sorry, it wasn't an envisionment, it was actually a song.
No. This was like 2 episodes.
That was the song I showed you.
Yeah, but I thought it was like a long, this is like a long
He was showing
episode.
the record label, like, the record label
But the
people
song was like 15 minutes. It was a really, really long song. Like, because I was sitting there and I'm like...
And then he was sitting there getting so mad because the record label was like, this is, like, offensive in so many ways. And he's just like, I'm the fucking artist. Like, bro.
Yeah, no, that's...
That was fucked up, though.
No, I that's a insane show. The Little Dicky show, Dave. But no, I mean, yeah, just getting away with stuff like that, it's pretty funny. I
don't know how so it's funny, more so it's like, why does it, why, I mean, I know people get off, that's a kink and stuff like that, people get off having sex in public and shit, but it's like,
I mean,
why would you
why
have
at a
sex
Blue Jays game?
First of all, why a Blue Jays game? Because that's probably the worst.
All the places you could pick.
Not only stadium, but that's probably the worst fucking game that you could have had sex to. I mean, your broad was probably subpar as shit. But what I'm saying is that, like, why in a crowd full of people like that? Like, okay, you want to get away with something in a car. Not really right, but you're doing it. You know what I mean? You want to get away with something,
At the park.
Whatever, if that's what you do, and not really right, but people get away with it, or anywhere that's kind of like out in the open, you know what I mean? But to have sex with somebody in front of thousands, if not tens of, maybe close to like 50,000 people or more.
Well, they're probably
banging it out.
Yeah, they're probably not sold out though.
Bud's probably a 2-pump chump too, bro. He probably hit it twice, bro, and then just said, "Listen, I'm gonna get you pregnant."
You know what's crazy is, like, you think about it, like, as kids, like teenagers and shit, we were doing some wild stuff. Well, I will not say we. I was like trying to get it in some wild places.
Yeah.
Movie theaters.
That shit never really excited me like that.
Oh, it wasn't about exciting me. It was like, if I want it, that's the only place it's going down. Or else I'm be, running away from somebody's dad, So that's not good. Yeah, no, that was a very scary situation. I wasn't even like, I was like a kid, maybe like 14, 15. And like, we weren't even like having sex or anything like that. We were literally just in her bed, like watching a movie, and like, this girl's dad came home a little early from work, and he felt I felt like this man wanted to like end my life because he was very upset. He's like, "What the hell are you guys doing? There better not be. You guys better have on your fucking clothes." And I was like, he's like, "There's no boys in this house when I'm not here." I was like, damn, this man is upset. Really big dude. Like, this guy had to be like 6'3", like, look kind of diesel, Looked like he just like worked out and ate muscles and drank strength. And I was like a very squeaky voice 15-year-old kid.
I mean, the squeaky voice is still there, but anyway, bro, that reminds me of a fucking story, dude.
Wow.
I had saw something recently where a woman was a black belt. She had gone into a convenience store. She had beat the shit out of the person that owned the convenience store, and then kept him kidnapped him and kept him away for like 2 or 3 days and just fed him Viagra.
She was trying to get her rocks off, huh?
Bro, that guy probably is never gonna want to have sex again.
Oh, is he still alive?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
That's crazy. Well, I don't know. Maybe like, sometimes that fucks people up where it's like, you would think they would never want to have sex again.
But imagine how much Viagra this woman gave him.
That's a lot of Viagra. Hopefully, maybe she was like dosing it correctly, though.
Do you think so?
No.
You think she took him to the hospital too if it lasted more than 6-7 hours?
No, what she would do is when it was like the 7th hour and she just felt like a little elasticity in it, she's like, "Uh-oh, it's time for another dose." Here you go. 2 more. Let's get it.
That's
This
crazy,
man
bro.
had like an erection for 72 hours, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He might not want to have sex ever again.
Oh shit. That sounds painful, actually. That doesn't sound like a good time whatsoever. Having an erection that long, that sounds terrible. Golly, he probably will never be able to like get an erection again without that shit. That
No,
probably
I'm
fucked
sure he
his-
will.
You don't think that fucked up his like his
Nah.
system and his dick?
Nah, not after a couple days.
3 days of just Viagra.
3 days of fucking.
Well, speaking of fucking, of course it's acceptable to like have sex with your wife on your honeymoon. Like that's just like
That's
part
a
of
normal thing, right?
right.
Rite of passage.
Well, Paul Torovsky, this guy said, I'm not getting enough. He was his needs were unsatisfied.
Okay.
So while he's on vacation, he goes out, finds a nice little prostitute during his honeymoon, leaves his wife at home, sleeps with this young lady, and gets caught up in a whole sting operation. that
Are you serious?
He gets caught up in a sting operation. He's like the last person that they use to see if this like this prostitution ring is going on. He gets caught up in this case. They catch up like a whole bunch of other individuals.
Wow.
And this guy just like is fucked, bro. Just one little, he just needed a little extra taste from a prostitute. Never the first time probably.
How many of those people do you think that they caught in that sting operation?
Oh, I can
that
tell you.
had wedding rings on? How many do you think, bro? How crazy is that?
Here's what's crazy, bro. He responded to an ad.
Okay.
He agreed to meet with the undercover officer to pay for sex,
And it was a cop.
and it was a cop, right? They got 176 men arrested during this sting operation.
Shit.
They made 360 arrests over the last 3 months.
Holy shit.
Yo,
Wow.
this guy just wanted a little extra on his honeymoon.
And I'm telling you, bro, they didn't add that in there, but it was like out of the 76 people that got caught up, it was really like 172 of them had wedding rings on, bro.
Probably.
I'm telling you, bro.
Probably. That's so fucked up because it's like, man, like you can't even trust the prostitution anymore. Like that used to be like something you could put your faith in. It used to be like back in the day, if you paid this young lady however much she asked for, you could have some sex discreetly. She wouldn't tell nobody, and then you go on about your business, you know?
That's the thing, though, because I really think that prostitution has been like never been able to be regulated because people can't tell you what to do with your body. You know what I mean?
I think prostitution should be legal.
So because of that, it's like the government's not getting theirs at that point. You know what I mean?
1099 them.
But that's like OnlyFans.
Okay, but what's wrong with that? I don't see why. Because
OnlyFans is pornography.
if you're a,
Because
well,
they don't know that. Like,
here's the
there's,
fucked
like,
up
meetups
part
and
though.
stuff.
No, they do know that's meetups. You know how you're able to get through that?
Why? How?
You record it.
Oh yeah, because it's then
Because
porn.
then it's a porn.
Right.
But
it's a porn.
they do fan meetups all the time. This is how crazy this is, right? It's insane, right? There's women on OnlyFans that you pay flight, hotel, everything, right? Then you pay for them to like whatever their fee is for however long. They film it and then they use that on their OnlyFans account as like material.
Really?
Yeah. So now like
They just got free material and they got the whole ride and they got paid.
exactly. And now, but here's the crazy part, right? A lot of times they'll do this. They'll be like, "All right, fuck it. I'm just going to go to this little to Chicago, Illinois. Let's say I'm going to go to Chicago, Illinois for 3 days. Obviously they're going to pay for their own flight and hotel.
Right.
But like if you want to book me during this time,
Then I'm out there.
that I'm out there, then you can book me. Motherfuckers are paying all this money and shit. Let's say they see 10 people, whatever. And it's like $300 a session. I'm pretty sure something in that range. I'm sure that you're not paying $150. You know, I'm sure it's like at least
Right.
$200, $300, $400, $500. Maybe even $1,000 for some of like the top tier. You know,
Right.
you make like 10. You make a bunch of money. You make a couple grand easy over
No,
just
and
a
I understand
weekend.
that. I'm just saying that when it comes back down to the discussion, it's just.
But
like,
it is that is prostitution. They just
I know,
recording
yeah,
it.
because they're getting away with it with the pornography. I understand that, but that's why I feel like they're gunning down on these prostitution rings because of the fact that they are just getting away with not paying the government their taxes.
Well, that's why most things are not. Why when they were able to? That's
government's
why
not getting
weed
theirs.
is now legalized in a lot more states, and it will be legalized in a lot more states. Chicago uses that shit, or Illinois. Let me say, not just Chicago, but Illinois uses that to like pay themselves out of debt. That's literally what they did. They're
Well,
like,
making a shit ton of money.
yeah,
off of it.
but off the tax too. That's why they tax it so high. They're
Yeah.
like, yo, we're in so much debt as a state. Let's legalize marijuana and just tax the fuck out of them.
Right.
And that's how they're trying to, get back in the get back in the black. So I mean, I understand it. But it's just like you should be able to do like that because they're already doing it. They just found a loophole to
What
do
they
that
don't
shit.
realize, though, is that the amount of people that go to the dispensary and the amount of markup they already make the products at, and then the amount of tax that they use on top of that, so that even if they give you a discount or sales discount, or they give you points back, or whatever the situation is, no matter what, they're still making a remarkable percentage markup. And if they only put their prices down to lower it. The lower their prices go, the lower street value prices go. And at that point, then, you know what I mean? It's like if they lowered their prices, then more people would be going.
Right.
And
Okay.
they'd still be making a killing.
But besides 1099, what would be the way to tax prostitution? Would you have to have like little
Well,
like
I mean,
government massage parlors?
if that were even a thing, then the regulations on that would be through the roof. Like what you can do, what you can't do, what's sexual harassment, what's not sexual harassment. Like,
Well, obviously, I think they would probably end up having like some sort of like building. I don't want to like a
see,
place.
I just don't even think that would work, though. I don't think that would work at all. Because even if there was men and women there, I still think that just would not fly. I don't think that would fly.
Why?
Because I think too many people would say that this is ridiculous. They wouldn't want that in their town. Because you're saying but you act like people don't. That's not a thing.
I mean,
Do you think that? Do you no? Nut up and tell me honestly, bro. Do you really fucking think that people are gonna want a building where they could just have sex with people in their town?
I don't think that there's a lot of places, but I think there's a few places it would be able to fly.
No, I mean like very, very,
Very few. Very few.
and it would be in project areas.
It would be a place like Las Vegas.
no,
Las
bro.
Vegas is.
It would be in a place where there's a lot of drugs, and the value of the area is already down to begin with.
Okay. Well, what if there was
know
some
that.
sort of what if there's some sort
Because
of like
just bringing a building like that is going to decrease property value.
okay,
a shit
scratch
ton.
the building,
Yeah.
right? What if there's some sort of government regulated online call girl service type situation?
Well, then that would be a different story at that.
Okay.
Because then it would be like ordering like a stripper for a bachelorette or a bachelor party.
Right. Okay, so would that work?
Well, yeah, because that's behind closed doors at that point, because people don't like telling their business.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you have a building in somebody's neighborhood.
The building.
Anybody that goes in there, I mean, you realize they check your IDs when you go into the dispensary, so they're going to
Exactly.
check your IDs when you
So
go into
that's
there.
what I was-
Everybody's seeing you on the camera. No matter what, your face has been seen.
That's what I was thinking. I was trying to think of some way where it would be like some sort of almost like a dispensary sort of thing.
But it would, yeah.
But
they would have to regulate it exactly the same.
Yeah, but if it's some sort of like call girl situation, you
Yeah.
go online, okay, boom, and they do some sort of like, you put in your birth date and shit like that. I mean, at some point, somebody would still have to check some sort of ID.
But see, that would be exceptional. What would be the amount of time that would be acceptable that you're like, okay, I'm involved with this woman,
Mm-hmm.
and she has to use the restroom,
Okay.
floods and clogs the toilet. So, in a haste, takes the poop from the toilet
Mm-hmm.
and dispenses it in your cat's litter box.
And I catch her doing this.
Well, I don't know if you catch her, but I mean, you might notice that the cat's poop turned pretty big.
Wow. Well, there's no accurate amount of time. That would never be I would never be okay with that shit. What the fuck?
What would you say to somebody that you were involved with? And granted, bro, this is somebody that you're involved with for a decent amount of time. I'm talking about a year, 2 years plus.
I would tell her
This person extracts poop from your toilet after clogging it and then hides it in your cat's litter box.
So what I would tell
Makes
her,
it a mission, a treasure hunt.
I would tell her to get the fuck out of my house, never talk to me again, and to go fuck herself because she's a disgusting piece of shit.
This is what you're going to say to that person that
Absolutely.
you've literally...
Anybody who fucking takes... First of all, like, just be an adult, right? If you have to take a shit, you have to take a shit. That happens. You have to clog the toilet. Toilets clog. The type of shit happens every day. You know, be an adult. Use a plunger. Plunge the shit. And usually, you know, presto, amazing. You know, it's all good. It's all better. Or at least just say some shit. Don't fucking take it out with your hands.
You think she took it out with her hands?
How else was she gonna take it out?
What if she
used
like
a little shovel? She's shoveling shit out of my fucking toilet. That's even worse,
Bro, that's not good for the porcelain, I promise you.
That's even worse.
That's
if you're
not good for the porcelain.
Now you're just being an asshole because you're being inconsiderate. You're just trying to scratch up my fucking toilet with the little shovel that you're using and shit. Fuck is wrong with your ass?
So what if she didn't hide it in your cat's litter box and she really hid it in the tank of your toilet?
Yo, that's a trifling piece of shit right there. Like, I'm not for calling women the B word, but she would definitely be it. She would. I have there's a list of words that I can't say on here that I would call her if she did some shit like that. That's fucked up. Why would you even do that?
So is it the problem that she shit in your tank, or is it the problem that you just don't like the idea of a woman, having to use the restroom like that? A number two, so to speak.
Women don't shit, number one, and they don't fart. That's just the truth. They don't. So, with that being said, if a woman did have to do that, right, in my bathroom, like, it's all good, you know what I mean? But, like, just, like, clean up after yourself, dude. Like, you're fucking an adult, all right? Like, I'm 25 years old. I'm not going to be dating anybody who's probably not even seriously dating anybody. Like, if I'm being honest with myself, that's, like, younger than, like, 23, you know?
So what if it wasn't somebody you were involved with? What if it was, like, a homie of yours? What if it was, like, a homie of yours that you've known for a long time?
Oh, we would have to fight.
You're fighting him.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go outside and throw them bitches. Cause you're just disrespecting me at this point. Cause you're a fucking man, and you're just nasty and fucking trifling as fuck.
So what if you
couldn't come to my house no more?
What if you woke up one morning after a party at your house, had a little get together, a little soiree at your house, and all of a sudden you just woke up and there was just a giant turd in your corner of your house?
In the corner of my house?
Yeah.
Yo, if I find out who the fuck shit in the corner of my house, I'm gonna fuck them up. No doubt about it. Like, that's so disrespectful.
I think the craziest thing is these are all things that you can just find on the internet.
Oh, I know. The internet is a dark, scary place.
I just don't even know what my reaction would be if I was in that position.
Just
and
pure anger for me, dude. I don't understand, like, why would you think that's
because you're
okay
going to have to clean that up, too. So what are you going to be most pissed about?
Cleaning it up, dude. I'm going to be fucking pissed because, okay, so, like, I have a dog, you know?
Right.
Sometimes the dog goes in the house.
Dude, it's so much easier to clean up dog poop than it is human poop.
Right. So it's like, okay, I was the one who decided to have. I don't like it, and I scold her for it because she knows to not to go in the house, and she
Right.
does a great job of not doing that as of late. But like sometimes it happens, and it's like, okay, clean it up. You scold your dog, but I was the one who decided to have a dog, something that depends on me that I need to clean up after. Okay, whatever. If you're a fucking human being, and if we're hanging out, I don't hang out with people that's a lot younger than me. So there's no way that like
Yeah, but bro, I mean, this
you're
is somebody.
cognitive.
This is somebody that was completely cognitive.
You're
was
cognitive.
just
You
a
know
little fucked up,
exactly what
and
you're doing.
just wanted to take a dump on your floor.
Like I have made a lot of my time in my life, especially my younger life, was spent getting fucked up, right? Like I know getting fucked up.
Have you taken a shit on the floor?
No. What I have done though is apparently, and this may not be true, but what I was told was that when I was in college, there was somebody next door to me. There was like a room next door to me. And apparently I knocked on this person's door, blackout drunk, knocked on this person's door. They opened it. I pissed in their garbage can and then just left. Apparently this is what someone said that I did.
Dude. My cousin has you beat, bro. No names, no places, bro. This man walks into the hotel room, bro. We're all staying in the same room. Obviously, multiple beds. Goes right in between the beds. Literally just starts taking a piss right there on the carpet.
Wow. That's crazy. Wow.
And I was asleep, too. I had no idea until the morning. There's just a bunch of towels on the ground.
Why?
I don't know. Guess
That's
his other
insane.
half had to run in and grab the dick. That's how she explained it.
Run in and grab the dick. That's insane. No, yeah, no, I
like that whole wrestling thing. The grab his dick and twist it.
Oh, that's terrible. No, yeah, dude, I fucking woke up the next morning and my homie was like knocking on the door. So I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? He's like, yo, you fucking wild dude. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? He's like, bro, did you go and like piss in those your next door like neighbor's garbage can? And I was like, I don't remember it possible that it happened. And then I was just like, fuck, dude. And he was just like shaking his head and shit. And ever since, like, this was like my sophomore year, and I would see this guy all the time, and like he was just look so pissed off, bro. Like every time he saw me, he like never could make eye contact with, because he was very upset. And I guess like so one of the guys was like a Japanese like exchange, like not exchange student, but like a Japanese student, like from Japan, never been to America and shit. And so he was like, is that like a thing you guys do here? Like you just like, you know, piss in each other's garbage cans and shit? And I guess like they had to tell him no and shit. So that, yeah, I felt bad. I didn't.
He was probably really upset. He was probably like, why would you waste this good noodle water in the trash?
We here at A Dose of Reality sometimes like to have a little fun, have some adult beverages. Sometimes you get a little carried away. And yeah, I spilled some beer on my shirt. So now it smells like beer in here.
He pissed on his shirt.
Shut up. You can't piss on a shirt. I guess you could, right?
Well, yeah, if you were using the bathroom and then you just got some on your shirt.
You want to hear something funny? So this one time I thought I was clever, right? And so I was like, I am going to comb my hair and pee, you know, because I can multitask. So I'm, you know, combing, and all of a sudden the comb fell out of my hand and into the toilet, and I pissed on it and had to throw that comb away, unfortunately.
You didn't wash it off and reuse it?
Oh, I was cool. No, it fell in the toilet.
Damn.
As I peed on it.
Right, but that's your pee.
Yeah, I'm okay.
You are the only one that uses that toilet.
It is what it is.
But let's get serious right now, bro. If you're trying to get waves while you're taking a piss, then, bro, maybe your comb should have went in the toilet, to be honest with you. Because, bro, that's like, all right, I'm going to be real about it. Obviously, I can never get waves. And if I tried to do that, my hair would look super greasy.
Right.
Because I have white hair. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it's like, bro, like, that takes hours. Like I was just sitting there just doing the same thing, same motion, hours. Brushing. So it's just like, you must have been doing that before you even used the bathroom.
Dude.
It wasn't like a, let's multitask here. It was more like a, I'm already in the middle of this.
No, it really was. Do you like to frolic, buddy? Frolic through the grass.
Frolicking?
Yeah, you like to frolic?
You know what? I think frolicking would be my favorite pastime.
Wow.
I think actually like getting in mode with it though, and like putting some shorts on so you're loose.
And you're just frolicking.
And maybe like a tank top.
Yeah.
And you're just frolicking, bro.
You can't frolic, bro. That's racist.
Why can't I frolic?
It's racist to frolic as a white male.
What?
Yeah, it's racist. You can't frolic, dude. Only
That's cap, bro. That's big cap.
Only black people apparently can frolic, dude.
Bro, I frolic every single day of my life.
Hey, man, that's fucking racist, okay, buddy? You can't frolic.
Honestly, bro, I don't even know how to respond to that because that is probably one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. You know what? You tell me why frolicking is racist. I don't understand it.
Well, let's listen to this nice young lady tell us why frolicking is racist.
Okay.
Do not miss the opportunity!
You and I both know that you are capable of enjoying the rain and frolicking freely without filming it and then posting it to TikTok. Now, you've just co-signed, okay? You've just co-signed at least 3 million, 8.5 by 11 front and back people who just go out of their way to disrespect and dismiss the boundaries that black creators have set. And now you're one of those people. So, I guess my question would be, why? Why is it so important to all of you to treat us like we don't matter?
Is it an issue for me to stand firm in what I believe? Male black creators frolicked in the grass. Female black creators started frolicking in the rain. Okay? Oh, poor Drew had a hard childhood, says the white woman to the black woman in America. I'm not picking. Nobody is picking on her. I pointed out the obvious. But what y'all really are not catching is the reactions. Like, okay, say that was a complete and total stretch, right? Y'all still went out of your way to demean me, put me down, call me out my name, dismiss my opinion on my own TikTok, but defend Drew and her hard childhood because she's the only one who ever had a hard childhood.
Shorty is dumb. Just dumb as hell. And that's how I'm going to start that off. Shorty's an idiot. I'm sure there's been a bunch of other black creators, but if there is not, Kid ISO is going to tell all the white people out there, frolic as much as you fucking like. Like, don't let this dumb lady tell you. Like, don't let this dumb lady say you can't frolic, dude. She sounds like an idiot, bro.
I think it takes it farther than that, though. Because it's like, that is one of the prime examples that she used, is that there are African-American male and or female creators that did it first.
So what? Okay.
No, but I'm asking why.
Okay, but
is there? I didn't know that social media trends were there were a race to do it first.
No, it's
and I didn't know that once a certain race. I'm just thinking out loud here. I didn't know that once a certain race already has done something like that,
Right.
then it's now claimed.
Yeah, no, it's just stupid. That lady is dumb. Here's the thing, right? So if you go by her logic, right? Let's just go by her logic. The first people that I ever saw doing the frolicking challenge thing, it was black men who were frolicking in the grass, right? Okay. So when the women did it, wouldn't that be all copying? According to her,
Right.
that's why this is stupid. And this is why I get so upset when I see shit like this, is because, like, yeah, we can laugh, we can call her dumb, which we are gonna do, but at the same time, you're sitting here and you're going to bat about stupid shit. Like, there's real things that are happening.
Right.
If you really want to be activists, let's keep it 1,000. People be so fucking trying to be so fucking woke nowadays, and it just sickens me, because it's like, okay, if you want to be woke, you want to act like you know what's up. Okay, talk about stuff that's really going on that really matters. Okay, like, really go out there and, like, start trying to campaign for, people who have weed charges, who are, incarcerated now that weed is legal and people are selling and making a whole bunch of money off of legal weed. All the people who have weed charges, start trying to petition for them to get out. All the people who had those maximum sentences for nonviolent crimes, try getting them out of jail. Like, sit here and talk about something that's actually matters. There's a young, I read something on social media. There was a girl who was an athlete in college, and she went to a game, and the opposing crowd were calling her the N-word and throwing around a bunch of racial slurs. Go hard on them. Do something that matters. You're sitting here mad and arguing and talking shit about Drew Barrymore for TikTok because she frolicked in the rain, and then you sit here and try to sit there and, like, do the black card. And the shit that really pisses me off about that is, like, because you do shit like that, and because this is so viral, when people are really talking about the real issues that are going on and are really trying to make a stand and say, hey, this shit is not right, nobody wants to listen to us because dumb motherfuckers like you.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. It definitely, like, it portrays a bad angle, and it's a prime example for exactly that. I mean, at this point, like, there's police brutality.
Mm-hmm.
There, I mean, and obviously it's not just African Americans, it's everybody, but I mean, that's what we see on the news.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many other, like, things that could be, in a sense, a disadvantage, but then somebody comes out and says something stupid like this. Because now at that point, like you said, anytime somebody comes forth and says this isn't right, nobody's going to fucking listen to them.
At all.
Because now it's just, okay, what social media trend are we talking about now?
Yeah, it just, you take the air out of the sails of people who actually matter. When you do and stand on shit like this, and then to sit there and, like, victimize yourself. I knew that was coming.
Right.
Like, the victimization of, like, social media just sickens me. And another thing, right? This is another thing I have to address. Like, just because you think that somebody's didn't go through something because of their skin color or whatever other reason you want to think about is BS. People, we all have hard lives. We all have things that we have to go through and deal with. Just because somebody's struggle is different than yours, and just because they come from a different background than you, doesn't mean that their issues is less valid. And I hate that shit. That is so annoying.
That's another point too, definitely, because, I mean, obviously this woman has a following.
Yeah.
So she's getting some sort of kind of money.
Right.
You know what I mean? And maybe it's not through as much TikTok or whatever, but for her to say, you didn't go through any hard times because you're a white woman and I'm black, like, that
is an ignorant statement.
Not only is that an ignorant statement, I feel like that is, like, one of the most disrespectful things that you could say to
Absolutely.
somebody,
Absolutely.
especially when you're trying to make a point about something that you think is wrong, and you use that as a crutch as well.
No,
and like
that's
you said, she
bullshit.
victimized herself. As soon as she realized that she was getting all this type of hate on social media, and whoever else had the freedom to comment on such a ridiculous statement like that, now she's sitting there and she's acting like, you guys are wrong. You guys shouldn't be sitting here and shitting on me because of my opinion. It's like, you're right. People shouldn't probably be shitting on you because of your opinion, but if you have a very black and white statement, an all or nothing statement that you're putting out to the world, and you have rebuttals inside your statement of why you're doing something like this, and then you want to come out with another video saying, oh, you know what, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was a little far-fetched what I threw out there. I realized that I was just fishing. But now the fact that you guys are sitting here and you're calling me all these names and you're doing all these things, you did that to yourself.
Yeah.
You put it out there for the world to see. You didn't say it amongst your friends. And you know what? She probably did say it amongst her friends
And
before
her
she put
dumbass
it out to
friends
the world.
were
Sat
like,
there and were like,
"Post
oh,
it,
it's
post
true,
it,
it's true.
post it."
No, serious thing, bro. She probably did. And now, look where she's at. And I promise you, there's not going to be a lot of people that were watching her before, watching her now for the same reasons.
Yeah, no, and then like, I just hate the whole like, let's beat up on a celebrity just because they're a celebrity, and it is what it is.
Right.
Like that's annoying to me. Like, that's something that we do all the time. Just because somebody's a celebrity, it's okay to talk shit about them, and it's like, but they're human too. Because now when somebody turns that around on you, you want to sit there and victimize yourself. So Aries Spears gets up. Somebody asks him about Lizzo's music, right? And like, if you're not a fan of Lizzo's music, that's fine.
Right.
I'm not the biggest fan, but you know, whatever. He goes up there and starts just shitting on her. She looks like the shit emoji. That's what she said. She's shaped like the shit emoji.
Yeah.
All this stuff. And he's just like, she needs to put the eclairs down. And like, if you don't know what Aries Spears look like, obviously, here's a picture. But as you can see, he's a fat guy,
Right.
right?
Out of shape.
Out of shape. So that was the funniest part to me, because you're fat shaming somebody as somebody who's fat as fuck.
But then he came with a rebuttal on it, and he said, you know, I know I'm not in shape and stuff like that, but, you know, I'm considered a handsome guy. And that's how he portrayed it after he made that stupid comment.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, if we're being fair, you remember the dog from Tom and Jerry?
Yeah.
That's what the fuck his ass looked like in the face.
I think he looks like something else, but go ahead.
And to be honest with you, like, again, nobody even asked him that shit. So I
Right.
thought that was funny. So yeah, he just shits on this young lady. He's like, yeah, I have swag. Lizzo probably thinks she has swag too. But regardless of the fact, you know, comes through, he gets backlash. Then he's saying like, y'all want to attack me personally. That's what he says on his like his response to the backlash was, y'all want to attack me personally. Wasn't that what he was doing?
I understand.
I don't understand these people, dude.
I understand when people are getting upset and they feel like, hey, you know, we want to not like that. People take it in their own hands to kind of set an example, and that's why they blow up on certain situations like
Right.
this. But take fucking ownership.
Absolutely.
Take ownership of what you said. Don't go back on it and now act like a pussy and sit
Yeah.
there and act like, oh, I shouldn't have said this, but you guys are attacking me personally. But you just sat here and attacked an artist personally,
Yeah.
but not just an artist.
Yeah.
Lizzo holds up to, and I'm not saying that she's musically gifted. I'm
Right.
not saying that she's the best.
Right.
In my opinion, and that's my opinion. But she has held herself to a high enough standard where now she's rewriting her song so she doesn't get canceled.
Yeah. I mean, she's a pop culture icon.
So
at this point.
she's an icon, bro. So it's like for you to it's almost like taking shots at Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Why?
What's the point?
Why? Yeah, he's socially awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, we get it. And that's the thing too. Like, I understand that Lizzo is big, but like,
And she
we get
probably
it.
should have not eaten those eggplants and those cucumbers in that video. Just
You're
saying.
funny. No, she's big. Yes, we all know that, right? And it's like, it's just annoying to this at this point, and it's kind of an old joke, and it's kind of lame at this point.
Broken record.
It's like, okay, we get it, she's big, but like she's big and she's gotten to places where skinny girls couldn't get to.
Right.
So, I mean, she's made a success out of herself, and you still have people trying to get like cheap jokes off of it, and it's like, okay, well, like. Now you can kind of like she can kind of tell him like, yeah, you can kiss my ass though, which is what she did. She's like, yo, I'm still that bitch, like whatever, and as she should, you know what I mean? You have to have that confidence in you. But this man is just a fucking weirdo.
It's one thing to troll and make jokes,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and obviously like that person has to have a relationship with that person if they're gonna make jokes like that, because at this point they know that they're kidding.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But to sit there, I mean, his career must be in the fucking toilet. Because if he's going to sit there, I mean, I feel like anybody that sits there and attacks or targets a person, and maybe he would have even said something still, even if the conversation wasn't brought up. Because that wasn't even the question that he answered.
Yeah, it's like,
you know what I mean?
Like he asks you about her music, and you sit here and,
so what I'm saying is that him trolling must he must think that must be a savior for his career.
Yeah,
now people are going to be talking about him because he's talking shit about an icon.
Absolutely. And that's the thing too. It's just like like at this point it should be you like punching down, but like the way you positioned yourself in that moment, it looks like you're trying to punch up to somebody to just get like a reaction and shit.
Right.
And it's like, well, damn. And then you start thinking about it. And I know who Aries Spears is. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've seen a couple of his stand-ups. But, like, you know how, like, with Dave Chappelle, you think of Dave Chappelle, you can think of a joke. Or even if Kevin Hart, you can think of a joke.
All family-oriented, right?
Yeah, you could think of any comedian that's good, and you'll think of a joke, a story,
or
something.
a scenario. Right.
Yeah. I don't remember shit about this dude. And I'm not trying to shit on him. Like, again, he's been a comedian for 20 years.
Honestly,
he's been successful.
He's been a comedian for 20 years.
Yeah.
I've been studying comedy for the last 3.
Yeah.
Bro, I have never heard of Aries Spears.
And I've heard of him.
I've never... No. I personally,
Yeah.
the only time that I've heard of Aries Spears is when he was on...
Aries Spears.
I don't care.
Fuck, dude.
At this point, I don't care.
Fuck
Ari, Aries, Air, Febreze, whatever.
Yeah, 'cause he's a fucking weirdo, too.
Yeah, literally, the Burt cast.
Yeah.
Burt Kreischer was talking about him. I believe, and obviously don't quote me on this, I believe that he was on one of the Birdie Boy tours or something like that.
Okay.
Which is cool. I mean, Burt Kreischer is a great comedian, but
The Machine.
Right. But that's the first time that I heard of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the way Burt talks about him, and it's crazy because I feel like his name is being brought up a lot within the last year to 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's
I
been
feel
a
like
little bit hotter.
He's been a
on
little
social
hot
media.
because I've heard his
Absolutely.
name, and obviously I wasn't able to put a face to the name, but I've heard his name a couple of times now that I think about it.
And just because...
But it was never like anything that was provocative. It had nothing to do with the comments he made about Lizzo.
No.
It had nothing to do with anything else he had going on. It literally had to do with just, oh yeah, Ari? Yeah, he's a good comedian.
You know, I never heard... And that's the crazy part, too. It's like... You see... Anytime I had seen anything on him, right? I'd seen little clips and shit. Like, it was kind of funny. Not, like, hilarious.
Right.
But it was... You get a good chuckle out of it. And it was never no shit like that. And it was just weird to see him just come at Shorty like that when it was like, damn, what the fuck is the point of that? But
right,
then...
that's not being a comedian.
Yeah, so then...
It's not funny.
It's not funny. It's like... And again, like, bro, the first time I heard a Lizzo fat joke, I kind of laughed. I was like, okay.
Honestly, though, like...
And then after that, it wasn't funny no more.
I used to be a bigger kid, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to get picked on when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And for being bigger. And it's one of those things like, yeah, it's funny, but it's more like, how funny is it? And how far are we going to take this? Because it's like, it's funny to be like, yeah, you know what, that person is a little overweight. In the sense of like, that person's pretty obese. You know what I mean? That, in the whole concept, can be a little funny.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because people that are bigger in TV shows and movies are made fun of.
Right.
So it's like, that's a cultural thing that it doesn't make it right, but it's the thing. You know what I mean? That's the humor in it. But to sit there, especially with all this body positive stuff going on, you're trying to work your way. Yeah, he's been doing this for the last 20 years, but I'm sure he doesn't want to peak there. I don't think that taking a shit on what everybody's got going on right now,
Right.
you know what I mean, is the best way to approach that.
Especially when you're fat as fuck,
Especially when that guy literally hits the Richter scale of diabetes.
And if we're being truthful, right? That dude looks like he's way bigger than Lizzo.
He could be.
Like he does. So it's like, bro, I don't see what the fucking point is. Like, okay, cool.
Maybe he thought that, hey, I'm fat and you're fat, so we
it's
can just
okay.
make jokes about each other.
No, I guess. But
And
at
when
least
he
be
knew,
funny.
right, at least be funny. And he knows that Lizzo's not going to respond to that.
Right. And
Literally
why
not
should
going to
she?
respond. She has no reason to respond
There's
to
no
that.
reason she
Bro, they don't even play in the same field,
and
dog.
not even in the same field, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure that, not even pretty sure, Lizzo was at Lakers games when LeBron is playing front row, sitting there because she has the money for a ticket. And I can guarantee you right now, Aries Spears ain't doing that shit.
Oh, no, he's there, but somebody else bought his ticket.
Oh, he's there, but he ain't sitting where Lizzo was sitting.
No, he's got friends. He's been doing this for 20 years. He's got friends. He calls a friend up every day during the week, and he's like, hey, you got Monday, right? Hey, you got Tuesday. Yeah, can you pay for my ticket this time? Thanks, I appreciate you. I left my wallet at home.
Left my wallet at the crib,
Even though I
bro.
can sit here and look at your net worth on the computer. Yeah, bro. So, Ari Spears made a video with Tiffany Haddish, and it was a comedy skit. I don't know what it premiered on, but it had his logo at the bottom of it, so I think it premiered on his website. I wasn't able to see the complete original video because the stuff that they had put on YouTube was already censored.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get an idea. The whole concept of this skit was your uncle who is a pedophile.
Mm.
That is the premise of this skit. Then it goes farther into it as, now, why is your uncle a pedophile? And that's not funny, but it's like, it's funny disgusting. Why he would even think that this is a joke. And
Why he would, I think that's okay.
Granted, before I give the details of the video, comedians make pedophile jokes all the time. They do. It's only the good comedians that get away with the jokes. And jokes are just half of it. As soon as you... I've never seen a comedian actually put together a skit of how this is done when everybody knows what happens when in a situation like this.
Absolutely.
So the details of it were... In the beginning, Tiffany Haddish drops off her son, asks his uncle, hey, can you, watch so-and-so, I got to go do this. Leaves him there, so the kid's playing on the ground, and, the uncle has a newspaper up in front of his face with the holes cut out so he can watch his nephew play. And then there was a scene where the same situation happened. Tiffany Haddish had dropped off her son. And I said, hey, can you, watch him? And he was like, oh, yeah, no problem. And now it cuts to a scene where, like, he's rubbing oil on him.
Mm.
Then the third situation happens, and it's obviously the same scenario. And asks if he can watch his nephew, and Tiffany Haddish at the end was just like, and this kind of pissed me off too. Tiffany Haddish was like, hey, like I need to run to the laundromat, and he's like, it's 9:00, and she's all dressed up, and she's like, well, that's open 24 hours. Hopefully, I can still get a drink. Like she's gonna go party. And I think I understand the tone that they're setting, but I think that's what pissed me off the most. And then obviously it cuts to a scene where he's in the bathtub with his nephew.
Fucking disgusting.
I think that pissed me off the most because it's like, okay, when you're young, doesn't really matter how old, how young, 40s, 30s. You get a babysitter, watch your kid, you want to go out. You want to have a good time. I get that. But the fact that that was portrayed in a skit like this is so crazy. And like I said, it's a double-edged sword. I understand why they implemented that because, it's a very normal thing for parents to go out, for kids to be watched by babysitters, by family members. But for something that happens so often, and especially the fact that the Me Too movement has been prominent for 5, 6 years, that he would come out with not only a skit that you have an 18-year-old playing a 14-year-old or a 15-year-old, but you have somebody that is under the teens who is a child playing in this skit, who is later going to, if this doesn't get taken down, later going to see this skit. And what now? I mean, is this going to be a running joke? This isn't even like advocate awareness. Like, hey, like these are things that, you know what I mean? They weren't even portraying it as like, hey, like, be careful who you leave your kids with. No, they were making a joke. I don't know, bro. The whole situation pissed me off.
First of all, I don't know why the fuck you would think that's funny. I guess there was accusations of like they're grooming them or whatever.
I saw that. I saw it, but you don't know what to believe in a situation like that, because now there's already a lawsuit pending.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, at this point, everything's going to be tacked on. You're never going to know the truth after that video. You know what I mean?
The fact that you would even like think that up is already fucked up enough. But you put that into action, and then you kind of like try to pass it off as a joke.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
It reminds me of the cartoons that Netflix concocts together.
Mm-hmm.
Like one big concoction of all the Netflix cartoons, like that cartoon that we watched.
Yeah.
And it seems to me, and obviously I'm making an assumption right now, but it seems to me that it's almost like he was basing it off of a cartoon like that. Because in cartoons like that, they get away with murder. Mm-hmm. Literally. They get away with murder in these cartoons. And obviously, it's a cartoon. So they can sit here, if it ever goes up to a lawsuit process, these aren't real people.
Right, and you can you can get away with certain things.
So it's like, but now you're taking this to a bigger scale. And like I said before, jokes have been made. There is really good comedians out there I've seen live, like John Lovitz, that has made a pedophile joke. His pedophile joke specifically was, he's like, pedophiles, they're disgusting people, absolutely disgusting people. But at least you know that they're the only people that go the speed limit in a school zone. But it was a joke.
Yeah.
It was a joke. No children were involved.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And there was no skit that was played out of it. So, of course, people were laughing at this joke because it was metaphorical. Yeah. It was like, yeah, people have an idea that this is happening, but that's very catchy, how you put that together.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You didn't use a child in a skit. Like,
no,
and
that's what it comes down to.
That's where it's, and it's like, I know we're giving Aries Spears a lot of this, but Tiffany Haddish is a fucking weirdo too. Again,
why? You know what?
You're a fucking weirdo, dude.
I like her too. Like, in the sense of like, she's a good like actress.
Right.
And this was that's what I don't understand, man. It's like, you're creating, you know what? I've seen low budget skits. I've seen low budget films.
Yeah.
What possessed him to not only make a terrible skit, both of them, to make a terrible skit, but also make it the most low-budget skit ever?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that they probably paid anybody but time to do this skit. And it just, like, it wasn't done well. There was no joke in the whole skit. There was no even concept of a joke in the whole skit. Everything you're doing is wrong. It's over the line. So why would you even insist on putting this out there to the world? When we do podcasts, I get a little concerned about some of the things that I say. Not because I'm worried about people canceling me. I don't give a fuck. You can cancel me. We haven't even been live long enough for you to cancel me. Right. YouTube has no discretion violations on our account. So, but I still am a little concerned about some of the things I say, because I personally, like, I don't want to offend people.
Yeah, you don't want to come off as an asshole.
It's fuck coming off as an asshole. Yeah. I just don't want to hurt people.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I am not here to deliberately hurt people. I'm here to deliberately like send a message. This is a dose of reality.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you have to hurt people.
Exactly. Absolutely.
But I feel like this was deliberately done just to hurt people, bro.
Yeah.
I'm really thinking about this. I feel like Ari had a like career death wish.
Yeah.
Because
had to.
I mean, I understand it. You've been doing this for a long time, so it's not like somebody can just knock you off the board unless you financially knock yourself off the board. But it's like, you know what's going on right now. You know cancel culture is so prominent. You know that there is artists and there is people out there that are literally having to change the way they talk on platforms specifically to not offend anybody. And you do a video that literally portrays who you are as a person at this point. Because fuck the actual skit. Fuck it. The fact that he even said, this is a good idea, and then branded his website onto it, saying, hey, come check out the full video. It's like, bro.
Yeah, and it's like you're in the bathtub with a little boy.
With a child.
Like,
nobody's going to see more of this. If anything, if the video, your website's probably going to get taken down.
Absolutely. And I mean, as it should.
But now I'm thinking, what kind of other comedy has this guy been putting out there? Has this just shed the surface now? Like, in the sense of, like, has he been putting comedy out there that has been on the line like this these whole 20 years and nobody has said anything until it involved a child?
I mean, as far as, like I said, I didn't know, like, I've seen clips here and there, nothing like, I had never seen any clip or anything that would even hint that this, or even the Lizzo shit, he would be doing. And it's like, yo, that's some pedo shit, that's some weirdo shit. And truthfully, I don't really want to hear and see any more of his skits like ever again. Like I think Cuz needs to just go sit down for a little bit and just.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to allow him to. I mean, obviously, he's going to have a opportunity until this lawsuit goes through to, rebuttal his opinion.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, I don't think anybody's going to listen.
Yeah, I don't. What the fuck can you say? Oh, I didn't really mean to.
And the worst part about this whole situation is anybody that advocates for him is pro.
Oh yeah, you're a pedo and you're a fucking weirdo.
No, but it's not even that. It's just pro sexual abuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like now, you know what I mean? Though he's in a really tough spot.
Yeah.
When things happen like this, like when Joe Rogan said the N-word, or again, Beyonce and Lizzo when they had to change that word out of their songs.
Yeah.
This was taken as people know you. People vouch for you. Joe Rogan, not a racist.
Right.
Did he say the N-word a couple times on his podcast? Yeah, he did. Did Lizzo say that word in her song that she later changed? Did Beyonce say that word in her song that she later changed? Have people been correcting the way they do things because of negative backlash? Yes.
Yeah.
But this guy... yeah, he's gonna have some comedians on his heels and saying like, "Hey, like, Ari's a good guy." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But does that make them pro sexual abuse? Because, I mean, it's one thing, right? It'll make it look like that because it's one thing to be like, you know what, Ari's a solid guy, and it's another thing for you to be like, you know what, like this guy has been a really good guy. He's been doing this for 20 years. It's like, it doesn't really matter that you've been doing this for 20 years. If you've been doing this 20 years and you've been watching the evolution of comedy, then you should know that this is not something we joke about.
Absolutely. Fuck Aries Spears. Fuck Tiffany Haddish. Y'all are some fucking weirdos. And that's just how I feel about it.
It definitely takes a very deranged, disgusting individual to sit there and and even to produce something like this.
One last thing. To brighten the mood up a little bit.
Just a little bit.
There is a female rapping sensation taking over the internet nation. Her name is Ice Spice.
You did me dirt, cause what did I do? Like, I fucked on your bro. Like, I cannot choose, no love and a smooth. Bitch, I am the one. So how can I lose? You thought I was feeling you? No, I was feeling you. That nigga a munch. Nigga eat it, he ate it for lunch. Bitch, on my body, I get what I want, like.
And I haven't heard a word that she really said because, wow, she had some immaculate videos.
I think it's pretty funny when we get confused as a culture for talent and for lust and beauty.
Yeah.
I think it's sad, actually, because at this point it's like, is she famous because she's talented or is she famous because she's pretty?
I would say that it's definitely because she's pretty, because she said but she said a lot of wild
She said
stuff.
something about how can you hurt me off the perky.
And it's not okay when you try to hurt me when we fucking off perky. We both from the Bronx, so I know that you dirty.
She said no, she
I know I
mean,
botched the line a little bit,
yeah,
but
no. I mean, okay. The beats amazing. The videos absolutely stellar.
they're world star hip hop videos.
Yeah. The lyrics leaves a little bit to be desired, but I mean, not everybody can be Nicki Minaj, you know? Not everybody has bars and then they look great too. You know, some people just have one or the other.
So we're making the exception. You're making the exception.
I don't think that it's making an exception, but I think that we have learned over time that just having talent won't get you as far as, you know, you want to go.
I have a question for you before we sign off. Do you think that people in a position like that, where now they're relying off of their looks more so than their talent, are making it harder for the people that actually have talent to make their way into the industry? Because now at this point, what if they don't have those looks, but they're so talented?
Well, then that's why there's Beyoncés, and that's why there's people who can really, really sing really, really good.
Oh,
because you have to have... I'm not doing that. That you have to have to be a superstar. You have to have both.
I thought you were gonna say what I thought you were gonna say.
Nope.
Tricky.
Nope. No, that's why there's people who are, because again, to be a superstar in the music industry, you have to have both. Now this Ice Spice young lady can get to a point where she's making millions of dollars, possibly, but
Right.
I don't think it would be off of just the strength of her music, because it's just not as good to get to that point. But I think sometimes we just like kind of like shoot down people because we're like, well, there's more talented people, and it's like, yeah, but like me having my beauty too, her having her beauty, that's a talent as well.
But she's in the music field,
and I get that. I do understand that, but like part of being in the music industry is being a recognizable face and making sure, like, if you have good enough beats and you say enough catchy things, especially as a female rapper, and you catch one, because she caught one with Munch. Munch is one of those ones. That's 2 million last time I looked at it, and it was it wasn't even 2 weeks, and it had 2 million views on YouTube.
I understand, but from a subjective standpoint, I'm just saying that if she was completely basing her talent from her looks, which I'm sure she doesn't think that way, but if she is, then at that point, then she should go into some sort of modeling field. I'm just saying, because
I think
then
she
it
will
does,
at some point.
I'm just saying that raises the question: if we are judging talent based off on how people look, then is it making it harder for people that are really talented to become part of the business?
I don't think so, because maybe to be artists and be big artists, if you're talking about to be big artists, then absolutely yes. But okay, for example, Rihanna don't write a lot of her stuff. Yeah, maybe some of it, but Rihanna doesn't write a lot of her
But see,
stuff.
that's
She
another
just has
thing, too. That's
a
another
decent
thing.
voice,
That's
and
another
she
thing.
and she looks great.
It's just and I understand what you're saying.
So
I get what you're saying, but at the same time,
you can have
you're
success.
using the example Rihanna, who doesn't talk out her songs. She sings her songs. She has listen. She has a beautiful voice,
Absolutely.
and that's why
Absolutely.
she is as famous as she is. That's
Okay,
why
let's do
she's
Cardi
as big
B
of an
then.
artist.
Cardi B doesn't write, but that's what I'm saying.
But as much as I don't like Cardi B's music,
Yeah.
because I'm just not a fan.
Yeah.
it doesn't mean it doesn't sound good.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
So she's also she's
I see
also
what you mean.
talented.
I see what you mean.
So
yeah.
and you're really getting a real opinion out of me because you know I do not like both of those artists.
No, okay. So here's
But to appreciate the art and the talent is different than liking something.
okay. I feel
As
what
a
you're
preference.
saying. I feel what you're saying. All I will say is to end it off. I think that Ice Spice could be a Cardi B if she gets with the right people to write for her.
Right.
And like because she has an okay flow. I mean, her flow is not terrible. You think you don't like her flow?
You know what? I think that what they should do is that they should just get all the Cheetah Girls back together and invite.
I'm getting really tired of your broken promises.
Promises. No. No. And Ice Spice, hey,
Dude.
should join.
Yo, honestly, I would love to write for her. Just give me like a bunch of New York drill. Bro, she would be talking stupid, dude.
Thank you, everybody.
Very stupid. I love you, Ice Spice. And this is just an informal
A tribute from
and
Kid ISO.
an informal tribute and also a request.
Invitation.
Yeah, we could go out for a nice little date, 5-star restaurant, hotel, bubbly, very nice night. If you like to smoke, I'll have that. The Perkies, I don't know where to find those, but we'll have a great night. And
Yeah, no, I
love
I,
you.
yeah, nah.
So much. Oh, I love her so much.
There's a lot going on in this conversation. Everybody, thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, all your wonderful comments. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so now. And thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us every single week. And thank you for taking the time to get your weekly dose.
Absolutely.